Namaste, angels. This is going to be our full moon in Taurus reading, covering a period roughly from, you could really say October 23rd through November 7th, November 6th, the day before the new moon in Scorpio. November 7th, 11:02 a.m., new moon in Scorpio, 15 degrees Scorpio 11. That one should be really interesting. All about 15 or 6 and 11 or 2. So, or 8 total. Karma, infinity. But let's deal with this one. What we got going on for this one. It occurs on the 24th at 12:45 p.m. Full moon, 1 degree Taurus 13. Those numbers are very interesting also. And I told you during, I don't know, the general and the love maybe, which signs I felt would be most affected. And that would be those that Venus rules, of course, particularly Taurus. Also Aquarius, where whose ruling planet, Uranus, is currently retrograde and located in Taurus. Scorpio, where Venus, Taurus's ruler, is currently located. Capricorn, because their ruler, Saturn, will be trine at the same time as the full moon. Who else did I say? Oh, Leo. So Aquarius again, because the north and south nodes will be square the moon. So Leo's the north node, Aquarius is the south node. So another reason why Aquarians will be affected. And that may have been it. You know, I do things for the most part off the top of my head, you know, so I don't have anything written down. I don't remember if I named everybody, but you guys get the idea. And so affected how? Well, I think, and this is not based on astrology. This is based on psychic awareness, intuition, a little bit of common sense, high priestess stuff. I think it will be a time of really intense because of Scorpio, and perhaps unexpected because of full moon energy, where you get sort of like knocked off your feet by the universe. You have to force into surrender. Love, a lot of it. That's my vision. I also feel like where we do get knocked off our feet, we can, or we, not only can we will find our strength to go ahead and, you know, pursue that which was put before us, because of Leo, again, that north node coming in, giving us the ability to face whatever comes our way. And Aquarius, directing us to do, you know, what moves us and to break away from barriers, even the practical that Taurus might want to do, you know, and stick to because it's a fixed sign and it's, you know, stubborn. With all that Aquarian energy that says, like, I have to do what moves me. Even if I'm the only person out of the 7.4 billion on the planet doing it, I got to do this. I think that's what's going to happen. Also, because it's the hunter's moon, I have also envisioned Jupiter and Sagittarius being quite instrumental. Jupiter, which is also located in Scorpio, so that makes sense. If you look at it that way too, it's right there with Venus, as is Mercury. And as will the sun be, the sun, which is ruled by Leo, so there's more Leo energy right there. I see the archer. In picturing the hunter's moon, I see the archer. So that's the Sagittarian energy. I see Cupid, you know, aiming arrows at people. I see the divine masculine, right? Traditionally, and even in indigenous cultures where they, you know, weren't necessarily taught any sort of patriarchy or anything. I think just, you know, but for the biological reasons, while women have been, you know, taught to hunt and are equally as capable in all things as men, the male is, even in animal, some animals, lower animals, the sort of hunter-gatherer. Now, of course, there are many as well where again, the female goes off and brings, you know, stuff back, hunts it and whatever, brings stuff back too. But I think you guys get what I'm saying. And so while that would mean that maybe some of the divine feminine would be in hot pursuit also, you know, they'll be the hunter. I see the divine masculine doing it, which has actually often not been the case on this journey. Like I was saying, historically, even in cultures, you know, that weren't necessarily taught anything, they just naturally, instinctively, innately did certain things. We have this, you know, nurturing female and this protecting male. He's the hunter. But on this journey, that hasn't always been the case, and it's often not the case. The feminine is in fact the hunter, the chaser, whatever you want to call it. I see that turning around. And maybe in part because of retrograde too. Because again, Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Venus retrograde in Scorpio. So maybe things will be turned upside down too, to tie all that together. Anyway, that's what I feel. And as always, I have brought up the Farmer's Almanac to see what they have to say. So let's do that now. The full moon for October rises on Wednesday, October 24th, 2018. This will be the hunter's moon, the full moon after the harvest moon. Here's all you need to know about the hunter's moon. The next full moon will appear opposite, and they have opposite in quotes, the sun, at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The moon will appear full for about 3 days centered around this time, from Tuesday morning through Thursday night. The hunter's moon meaning. The Algonquin Native American tribes referred to October's moon as the full hunter's moon because time to go hunting in preparation for winter. Since the harvesters have reaped the fields, hunters can easily see the fattened deer and other animals that have come out to glean, foxes that have come out to prey on them as well. The earliest use of the term hunter's moon, cited in the Oxford English Dictionary, is from the year 1710, which is 9. We'll see if that means anything along the way. Some sources suggest that other names for the hunter's moon are the sanguine or blood moon, either associated with the blood with hunting or the turning of the leaves in autumn, you know, to a blood red, I guess. Other Native American tribes who tied the full moon names to the season's activities called the full moon the travel moon and the dying grass moon. This moon occurs around the end of the monsoon season in India. What is known as hunter's moon in the West is called Kartik Purnima in India, and it is a sacred festival celebrated all over India. Kartik Purnima is a Hindu, Sikh, and Jain holy festival celebrated on the Purnima, which is full moon day or 15th lunar day of Kartik. Kartik, which covers the span of November through December. It's also known as the Tripuri Purnima and the Tripurari Purnima. It is sometimes called Diva Diwali or Diva Deepawali, the festival of lights of the gods, which actually, from my recollection this year, is November 7th, when Diwali will actually be celebrated this year. Anyway, the festival of lights of the gods. Karthikai Deepam is a related festival celebrated in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Sri Lanka in a different date. For Hindus, this full moon is Sharad Purnima, a harvest festival marking the end of the rains. For Buddhists, this full moon is Pavarana, the end of Vasa, sometimes given the English names Rain's Retreat or Buddhist Lent. The 3-month period of fasting for Buddhist monks tied to the monsoons. In Laos, this is all known as the Boon Twang Hua or boat racing festival. In Sri Lanka, this is the Vap Poya, followed by the Kathina festival, during which people give gifts to the monks, particularly new robes. And this lunar month is sometimes called the month of robes. In Myanmar, this is the Thadingyat festival, also known as the Lightning Festival. In lunar solar calendars, the months change with the new moon, and full moons fall in the middle of the lunar month. This full moon falls near the middle of the 9th month, so there goes another 9, in the Chinese calendar, and Marshavan in the Hebrew calendar. In the Islamic calendar, the months start with the first sighting of the waxing crescent moon a few days after the new moon. This full moon is near the middle of Safar, the 2nd month of the Islamic year. What is special about the full hunter's moon? Most of our monthly moon names come from Native American and early American folklore. However, the full hunter's moon is one of 2 moons that is a long-standing astronomical term. Specifically, the hunter's moon is always the first full moon after the harvest moon, which is the closest full moon to the autumnal equinox. The hunter's moon rises right around sunset and sets around sunrise. It's the only night in the month when the moon is in the sky all night long. Because the hunter's moon rises around sunset near the horizon, it may appear bigger and more orange than your typical moon. However, this is just the quote-unquote moon illusion. If you want to know more about this, they have it on their page, a link to click on, and they also have a video that you can watch. They list the best days for harvesting if anybody's interested in that, fishing, setting eggs, and give you a bit of moon folklore, like corn planted under a waning moon grows slower but yields larger ears. Babies born a day after the full moon enjoy success and endurance. A new moon in your dreams promises increased wealth or a happy marriage. And to give insight from someone who does refer to themselves as an astrologer, I always just Google whatever the event is that I'm going to talk about. So in this case, full moon. And I tend to just pick, whatever comes up first, just arbitrarily, and go with it. Something, I don't know, that psychic awareness thing. Today it told me not to, and I must have paged, kept hitting next page, next page, next page, 3 or 4 times. So I stopped on ruby slipper astrology, and maybe because of my obsession with with the Wizard of Oz, and the emerald ray and the emerald versus the Emerald City. But for whatever reason, I stopped on this one. I have not read it alone, so I'm about to do it with you guys. Full moon in Taurus, the surprise that's not really a surprise. The October 24 full moon conjoins Uranus retrograde. So this ending result is going to be a tad disruptive. Uranus always brings a surprise or liberation. See, this is what I was talking about. You're going to be forced to break free. That's what liberation means for anybody that is not aware. Although it may be less with a full moon because this is a result. It's not coming out of nowhere. Moon Uranus opposes Venus retrograde in Scorpio, which conjoins the sun, and Venus rules this moon. So the surprise will involve relationships, money or values, with an emphasis on what's best for you, what contributes to or undermines your security. So far this really does sound like what I have envisioned. That she's calling it surprise, saying she doesn't know if it's going to come in love or money or relationships. I saw it in love. I felt it in love. I'm sure money can be a part of it too, because money also ruled by Venus and Taurus and Earth sign. So that makes sense. But I said getting knocked off your feet was what I pictured. That sounds like a surprise to me. Anyway, Venus in Scorpio has already opposed Uranus once this year. It happened on September 12th, 2018. And now she's retrograde and doing it again. Although technically her second opposition won't be exact until October 31st. So this really is a repeat. You've been here before. You've heard the call to liberation before. So this may be also for some of us that didn't move when we were guided to move back in September. Now's a second chance for us too. It could be a disruptive ending or an unexpected and beneficial gift. You never know with Uranus, although the hints have been laid out since September 12th. What's more, this full moon, Venus-Uranus, will square the South Node in Aquarius and the North Node in Leo. A square to the nodes means this is a pivotal issue. Again, you've been here before and had an opportunity to turn this corner. Yes. Okay. I told you guys all this stuff without being an astrologer. If you go back to my readings in August, I told you what was going to happen in August. And then I told you what was coming September 11th, September 12th from my vision. So I love when this connects. And I still have my video up for those who want to see it, because every now and then I get asked about it, for people who want to find it again. So I made it easy to find the important message video that I did that covered this period beginning around the Lion's Gate in August and the new moon in Virgo back then through, I think, the end of September. And it was called Important Messages. It's in my currently featured videos playlist for anybody who wants to see it. All right. So again, you've been here before and you've had an opportunity to turn this corner. Venus previously squared the nodes on September 16th, Tupac's birthday. And while her next exact square won't be until October 30th, the energy is still part of this full moon. Something you wanted, loved, either kept you from moving forward and you needed to manifest it so that you could move forward. Think back to September. How did your values support or block your progress? Can you carry what you want forward? Or would it be better to cut that cord? South Node in Aquarius is the past. Moving on from detachment, alienation, rebellion specifically to the future. The North Node, which is about finding your center in an area that makes you proud. And the rulers of the nodes, Sun and Uranus, oppose each other, which means this is a significant crossroads. You're at the point where you can choose to step into the light, the place where you have pride, Or you can stay on the edge and remain detached. North Node in Leo asks you to care about yourself, your talents, and your audience. It's not cool or laid back, but sometimes you have to step up and put yourself out there. But there is a node of stability, and that's Saturn in Capricorn, making a trine to the moon and Uranus. You can integrate these changes if you follow the rules or apply focus. Uranus and Saturn means new rules, but the trine delivers them in a natural manner. The key is focus, focus, focus. You must apply some sort of discipline to what's happening. Do your work. And that's the end of that. So on that note, we'll get to our reading, but now I see why I was guided to keep paging forward, because they wanted to show me something that was going to align with what I was already feeling and sharing with you, so that it could make sense, more sense to all of us. And I hope it does. Because of all the Scorpio energy, I have decided to use my butterfly cards, or to begin with them, to get the masculine's perspective from them, what he wants us to know about the full moon, beginning with leaving and opening to relationship dynamics. I got to tell you, I did that myself after I shuffled the cards. I always shuffle them a bit before I start, and then I'm guided to stop at a particular place. So it was here. After I had already done that, I opened them again, and I opened to relationship dynamics when I was by myself too. And I was like, what am I doing? And I closed it back. So I guess this is the card we were meant to see next for sure. And it can mean like specifically that, like leaving a current relationship dynamic, not necessarily romantic. It could be a family relationship, friendship, or a romantic relationship. He is leaving. Relationship dynamic and self-care. This could be the reason why. Right? I got to nurture myself. Perhaps because of Venus and the earth energy of Taurus. Got to take care of me. I'm out of here. Right? Opening to breathe true to you. All right. How that fits. Self-care and memories. So we'll take with us the positive memories, sort of like that card I have in the Universal Love Oracle, Golden Memories. We take that with us and we leave the baggage. We drop the baggage and leave everything that's toxic behind because of self-care. All right, so make that decision. And welcome the new. I think on that note, that should be the last one I look to, and I'm going to cut here. You are stronger than you know. So for some, it might be difficult, just leaving, whatever that means, leaving. It could just be metaphorical too, like I'm leaving the old pieces of myself behind, and moving on to a newer, better version of me. But I don't know that version. So it's still scary, or it still can be. Right? We're often afraid of the unknown. So that could be what this means as well. But you are stronger than you know. Just like I was saying in the beginning of the reading, before I did any cards, that I felt that the North Node, the energy of Leo, which is ruled by the sun, which enters Scorpio the day before the moon, was going to give us the strength to face whatever we had to. Overall energy is finances. It could just be representative, again, of the earth energy, the pentacles, right, of Taurus. Or some of us may be dealing with financial issues. That could be what we're leaving behind. Leaving behind the energy of lack and broke and moving on to better, abundance, right? Venus is both the goddess and the planet of abundance, love and money. I also got to tell you that while I was shuffling in my hand a bit to get to this overall energy, spiritual growth jumped out of the deck and landed on my foot. All right. So the divine feminine and her higher self to her, the masculine about the feminine during this period, and himself, the relationship as a whole, overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union, contribute, surrender, work toward, what he himself is willing to, what the universe would have the two do. You're going to have to affirm, you know, to do it though. It's not going to, the universe is not going to do it for you, but it will fully support you if you first affirm to it yourself. And the outcome is here. Divine Feminine, religion and spirituality. So I think this is facing our belief systems, again, breaking away from things that don't serve. Aquarius will help you to do that if you have been unable to do it before. And then Scorpio certainly will help you to do that if you've been unable to do that before too. The masculine about the feminine as it relates to the union, their energies over the next 2 weeks or so. Ooh, memories. These are fond, obviously. Again, this is the part that we take with us when we leave the other stuff behind. So there could be, for example, a situation where, again, it's metaphoric, and what we're leaving behind is any toxic energy we had between us, and moving forward in a new way, whether that is as individuals or together, moving forward in a new way, only taking with us the light-hearted energy, which is the memories, right? Again, like that song, that Erykah Badu song says, pack light. A masculine about himself, courage. So here's that Leo energy coming through again, and the strength to face whatever it is he needs to do. The union as a whole, join in. How awesome is that, right? Coming together, conjoining, joining together, join in. And this is voluntarily moving forward toward union. Like that. Overall, forgiveness. Right? This is going to be the overlying theme, so to speak. And what helps us to get to some of these other things, especially this. What the masculine would have the feminine do. Moving. Could be literal for some. Could be moving in together. Could be metaphorical, figurative, right? Moving forward. Again, letting go of the past, leaving that behind, only taking the memories with us. Moving towards something newer, better. Could be moving closer to each other. If not in together. And it's physical movement. Could be connected to leaving again. One could be moving out of a situation, circumstance, living condition, and moving into, again, a better one, a newer one. Newer and better. More appropriate. More aligned with themselves and the union. What the masculine is willing to do here, body changes. This can also be literal for some, but I definitely feel the figurative message that's coming through. And I think that the picture really shows that when you see this butterfly holding the cocoon, basically, from which it came, from which it emerged. So having left behind its old body, right, the caterpillar body, and gone through a full transformation. That's what the masculine is saying here. So for some, it is going to be physical. He's going to be, you know, taking those inward feelings and directing them outward too, and maybe getting in the gym or eating more. I saw Wiz Khalifa the other day, a picture of him. He's no scrawny little guy anymore. he was looking pretty buff, like he had been to jail or something. You know, so there could be some of that, like just going through physical, visible changes too. But definitely like the old them, you know, sort of dying away and this new one being born. Very Scorpio. What the universe would have the two do will support them in doing. Oh, boom. Relationship dynamics, working together, and right atop, join in. The universe is committed to helping you come together if you're committed to coming together, to working on that, you know, putting in what's required, what's necessary as an individual and as a couple to make it happen. I love that. And the outcome, self-care, because following our hearts and doing what's best for us is self-care. I like where this reading is going already. For the perspective from the universe, don't normally use these, but I'm going to. Don't normally use these for this particular spread, I mean, but I'm going to. This is the Universal Love Oracle that I just mentioned a few minutes ago, and I'm beginning with balance. It's representative of air and water energy coming together too. Although this card, the feeling it gives me, it's very temperance-like, temperance from the traditional tarot, which represents the sign of Sagittarius. So having nothing to do with air or water, and being all about fire, Sagittarius. But I also talked about how I felt Sagittarius was going to be present during this period because it is the hunter moon. So I just envisioned the archer coming through with their bow and arrow, and very Cupid-like, but maybe doing some healing too, because, you know, it's ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter is the planet of growth, expansion, and that will be helping us to heal, basically, spiritually, emotionally, leading to growth. Also, I always, well, not always, but often get the feeling that this male, quite possibly the masculine, has something to say, to communicate, because he has these little white spheres, like orb-like things, and they're like strategically placed over the communication centers. There's one on his throat chakra, one on his third eye chakra, one on the crown chakra. I can't really see it. But those are all communication zones. So it makes me feel like he has something to say, and maybe she is helping to strengthen him, and sort of very Aquarian-like, because it's like she's bringing him the that he needs to heal. She's helping to fill his cup. Opening to love. Love. Ooh, okay. Tantric union could be happening. This may be physical. It's often very telepathic too. Just connecting with one another that way, and communicating different things. And it's a stronger and more deeper emotion, at least to me, than, you know, anything, the physical. Far deeper than that. Also opening to celebration, which can be literal. We have something to celebrate, but also indicative of ascension, and again, death and rebirth. Love. Miracles. Opposite love. So maybe even for those of us who thought love wasn't coming and wouldn't come for us, here it comes. Eternal flame. Here goes your fire energy again. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, maybe Scorpio. Love. And the goddess. This is the perfect one for me to stop on, right? The goddess. Basically, she's the goddess of the moon. Here's the moon here. This card all about surrender. And more specifically, feminine energy of surrender. That we all can, you know, draw upon and use. It's not specific to the feminine to be able to use it, or to females. The moon represents the sign of Pisces in the tarot, so we could be bringing that in. The actual moon is the ruler of the sign of Cancer. And, you know, it could be attached to all water signs, basically, the moon. It's about the need to pay close attention to our intuition as well. Psychic awareness, growing, being heightened. Pay attention. Any gut feelings, signs, synchronicities, you're going to want to take note. But most importantly, when you see this card is surrender and letting go and just allowing for things to unfold, especially as it relates to love during this period. On that note, I will cut. And blessings on their way to us. Abundance. Boom. Overall energy is sacred union. Divine couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self feels like it has two. It does. Blocks. What the feminine can do is also two. The masculine. The universe would have the two do. They have to, again, affirm to do. And the outcome also has two. I guess these things can go different ways for different people. Also, I don't want to leave singles out. People that have not yet met partner, you two would be included. You know, acknowledge this card as opposed to couple. You know, it would represent yourself. And then whether you identify as feminine or masculine, those are the cards there for those. Because I definitely feel that too. You know, new relationships, people that had not been in one before. All right, divine couple. Inner child. So this has all three of the energies that are at hand together in one card. Here's the air. All right, so here's all the Venus, Libra, Gemini. Here's her Taurus, all right, all this green. Here's all the water. See all the blue? There's the Scorpio. Again, there's a need to communicate something, it appears. And this could be your inner child needing to get something out to you for you to address over this period. Or something that needs to be, you know, shared with others around you. Also very representative for me of the sign of Aquarius. With not only is something placed here on each communication center again, but it's a star. So the star in the tarot represents the sign of Aquarius. So definitely communication. One way or another, there will be communication. Recent past. Earth connection. And this could mean a lot of things, actually. We're coming off recently a Virgo moon. 3 planets having been retrograde in Capricorn. And Uranus having entered Taurus. So the Earth connection can mean different things to different people. It also can be representative of an actual, you know, person or occurrence in your life, perhaps. The recent past, something having to do with an earth sign, maybe. Or maybe one of the other signs that Venus rules. Near future. Boom. What did I say? Abundance is coming. And then see how it's right on the heels of the earth connection. So we've got like earth upon earth here. Because this has been like freed up. When those planets left Capricorn, that freed up a lot of energy. When Mars particularly left Capricorn and moved instead to Aquarius, that freed up a lot. Especially for the masculine. Abundance in the near future. Nice. So again, this can be something for you, more specifically having to do with an earth sign. That's going to be particularly impactful. Masculine's higher self, he got 2 cards for whatever reason. Aww. Transmutation. So this is like rising again from the ashes, having taken anything negative, any negative emotion, negative cords of attachment, and using them to create love energy instead, which helps him to ascend, and I guess helps him to arrive here. Moon tree, which isn't only showing up because of the full moon, but I'm sure that that's one of the reasons too. But moon tree in this deck is representative of sacred union. And see, they're like the same colors too in the cards. It's sacred marriage is what moon tree represents. So that's a nice place, a nice thing on which for the masculine's mind to be on. Also, with this fire here, there's a lot of burning passion, and I do think it is connected to his Mars. All right, so what blocks over this period leading up to the new moon? Refusal or inability, maybe previously, to forgive is the block that will surface, and we have free will to choose to address it or not. But that's going to be the task. Forgiveness. What the feminine can do. All right, so we have a rise of our own through which we'll be going. And it's like leaving our darkness, similar to what the masculine's done here. Maybe that's why we both got 2 cards. Similar to what the masculine's done here with the transmutation. This is us coming from a darker place, right? Maybe where, again, negative emotions and cords of attachment are rooted. And leaving those behind, rising up from that toward the light and better times and spiritual growth, emotional growth, and preparedness for these other things that we're going to encounter. Now, coupled with that, the other card that came out is Message from Afar. It's sitting here underneath the inner child that I said had something to say. And it was also representative of communication. So this can be a lot of different kinds of communication. It can be between the universe and ourselves. And you see her looking up toward, the skies, the heavens. It can be us communicating with the masculine. And we have this card that's very, again, Martian, very representative of Mars, a lot of fire, a lot of red. And it can be signs and syncs, but it can be actual 3D communication too, from a distance. Like message from afar, it can be like long distance phone call, email, text, FaceTime, however you communicate. And I would say more so one of those, telepathy, but more so one of those because Uranus and Aquarius rule technology. So not only are they involved in communication, as all air signs are, it's a communication that is connected to technology is most their thing. right? The energy of Aquarius. So again, that's going to be, for me, I include telepathy because we're electronic beings. We're electric beings. But again, text, email, Skype, all that sort of thing. We can expect messages, many of us. What the masculine can do. Ooh, universal heart. This is basically not only attached to the energy of forgiveness, because, you know, what being are we told of, you know, with a greater ability to forgive than this one? So this is the example of how we can let things go. And a lot of the feminine probably saying like, well, what has he got to forgive? I've been seeing this over the past couple of weeks, that there is a misconception and misunderstanding between the two, where the feminine thinks that she is due all the apologies, but there's something maybe we're not realizing, or of which we're unaware, that the masculine has a completely different perception, and he's saying he's the one that was hurt by whatever occurred. And so there's enough forgiveness to go around, basically. Long story short, there's enough forgiveness to go around. And he, what he can do and is guided to do is to follow this example and move into this place of forgiveness. And of like an example of like the divine masculine of all time, essentially. What the universe would recommend the two do and will support you in doing if you should affirm to do it. Begin again. Boom. Birth. And another one of these Pentecostal doves. So I talked about the rise and death and rebirth before when we saw the celebration card, and there was one of these doves on it. And I said it was connected to ascension, death and rebirth. So we're still on that theme, and the universe wanting to help you with a new start. But you can see that it's a deeper thing than just death and rebirth. There's a sort of sanctity and sacredness attached to it. When we see these three rays here, and it's very Pentecostal like dove. Outcome. Oh, I forgot we had two here. Okay. How's this for Leo and Aquarius, the North and South Node? Golden Memories, which is the card I was speaking about in the beginning, that guides us to leave all the heavy baggage and stuff behind and only take the golden memories with us. Right? We have to lighten our load in order to move forward. And here's that burning desire to move forward. Aquarius, right? That freedom-seeking humanitarian that needs to, you know, move toward a higher existence, you know, and just can't be held back anymore. This card also is very High Priestess-like for me. Of course, brings in the energy of both water and air and can be representative of any of those signs. This one, too, doesn't have to be Leo. That was just the first thing I saw when I looked at these two cards together. I saw the nodes, which, again, are going to be pretty impactful upon us over this period. But this can be, doesn't have to be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Scorpio. Could be Mars himself, this fiery burning. Could be the sun, ruler of Leo, having entered Scorpio. Could be Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius. All of those very impactful. And this, again, representative for me of both water and air. Maybe most specifically Aquarius because of the star that's over her third eye chakra. But Libra and Gemini as well. Again, very high priestess-like. So she is, or we are, using our intuition and our psychic awareness and our logic, our wisdom, things that we've observed. Like, we know what to leave behind and what to take back. Stop with this, you know, holding on to the toxicities that we've long been aware we need to release. You know, acting as if we're unsure. You know what you have to drop. You know toward what you're being guided and what you need to pick up, you know, the direction you're supposed to be heading. We know. High Priestess, she always knows. She knows. She doesn't act on anything until she feels she has to, but in the meantime, she has employed all of those things. Right? She's very wise. She's very smart. She's super psychic. Right? Extremely intuitive. So paying attention to those things, and then not taking any sort of action until it's going to be a definitive action, until you're really going to, you know, put what you know you've been moved to do. You're going to actually move toward doing it. That's when you do it. So it's like no more like dilly-dallying, as they say, or beating around the bush or whatever. Don't go to pick up the bag to throw it in the incinerator until you're going to actually throw it in the incinerator. And then let it burn. Shuffle these a little bit more since we used them all, because I want to see some advices from a few decks, what, you know, for the masculine and the feminine each, respectively, else the full moon wants us to know, plans on bringing us. Oh. Also Golden Path. There's my Yellow Brick Road. Boom. So from the Universal Love Oracle, messages as to what the full moon wants to bring the masculine and the feminine, respectively. New career can be an actual new career. It can also be a relationship. You know, when I see it, sometimes I say, like, oh, I think of it as, like, you know, not everybody does, but, you know, I certainly have called my man, my boss, my, I don't know, whatever. But you get the idea. New career could be a relationship. Body changes. Also decisions back. We saw that earlier. Body changes. Healing from the past. Amen. Body changes. And healthcare change. Body changes. Join in is also back. I like this card. In addition to these, I'd also wanted to get from the Angel Therapy deck, beginning with singing and dancing. Express yourself and awaken your psychic senses through the magical power of music and movement. Opening to vegetarian, vegan. Fresh organic fruits and vegetables give you a boost of high life force energy, which elevates your spiritual frequency. That could be attached to body changes too. and to the masculine in particular, that transmutation, that, right, he's increasing his vibration potentially, because exercise will do that, as will eating a cleaner diet, cleaner, more whole. Doesn't have to be vegan or vegetarian, in my opinion, but more whole. So like getting rid of processed stuff, fast food stuff, chemicals, GMO, definitely eating more pure foods, right, in their raw form. And when I say raw, I mean not treated. I don't necessarily mean uncooked. That's what's going to help you to maintain and or increase your vibration. Singing and dancing, and also integrity. Align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowingness of what's right for you. So this is very air sign, very Aquarius maybe in particular. Integrity, or Libra if you think about it in terms of justice, or Gemini if you think about it in terms of how we have the capability to view both sides of, or all sides of a situation, even the, more unpopular. We can understand the perspective. And opening to twin flame. The answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. On that note, I will cut. Cut your cords. Ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. From the angels of abundance, beginning with cooperation instead of competition. What's yours is yours, and no one can take it from you. There's no need to compete, and there's abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share with others. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. Open to savings. As you consistently save for your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is part of your self-care. How many times do we see the self-care message in the beginning? Right? It's part of your self-care and a path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. Savings. And ask for your needs to be met. God and the angels can come to your aid only if you make a free will choice to be helped. And it begins with asking. It doesn't matter how you ask God for help, but only that you do so. The same holds true with clearly asking other people to assist you. Ask for your needs to be met. I think I'm going to cut there. I like that message. Boom. Raise or promotion. Congratulations. An increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is as a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. That means if you actually follow the guidance that we're shown, that you receive, this is the outcome, is what they're saying. Lastly, from the past life oracle, I felt like we needed to see if there was anything in particular we needed to know about the past life, our past life, that they might be affecting us or something in the meantime. Something that we need to work on over the next 2 weeks, or, a blessing, a gift that we can expect by the end of it. Beginning with spouse. So I think this is more about the sanctity, again, the sacredness of the relationships that exist and, will be formed over this period. Trees. And galactic. Bunch of star seeds coming together. Trees. Medicine man or woman. On that note, you hear the sirens? We started talking about like medicine man, like doctor, treatment. Trees. And mother. Oh, that must be Venus. Trees. One more. Ah, how cute is that? Father. Trees. Because as I was doing it, I was thinking, well, I guess maybe father's represented by trees, like the tree of life and Osiris, but nope, turned up himself. Father. Okay. Well, that's the Scorpion king. That's the father. Venus, the mother. And Atlantis. Reminding us all of our connection to water. Some of us maybe need to go out and spend some time near the water, in water, if we live in an area with a climate that's conducive to that. Same thing with the trees that we saw over and over. Spending time in nature, with Mother Nature, with Father. You know, opening up to that flow of abundance, maybe doing your meditation outside. Just connecting, right, with that vibe. Or bringing nature to you. I talked about this in the readings over the weekend, the weekly general and love reading. If you live somewhere where maybe right now it's too cold, too cool to spend time in nature, or for whatever reason you're unable to, maybe you can bring some inside to you. Plants, wildlife, the fruit and vegetables that you can eat in order to increase your vibration. Let it all work together and become a lifestyle. I don't know why, but for this deck, I was just moved to shuffle some more. So for these, right after I cut, I laid the cards. And this one I found myself shuffling. So I just, I allowed it to happen. And the overall energy is now Native American. This could be because of the full moon, right? The, again, full hunter's moon, given that name by Native Americans. So it could be, I'm bringing that in as well. Okay. I think do these last just in case we need to actually read from the book for those. So masculine, on what you perhaps need to work in the area of finances over the period of the full moon. Deservingness. You are a beloved child of God like everyone else, and you deserve to receive the support that will allow you to focus upon your divine life purpose. Even if you can't yet recognize your lovable qualities, trust that God and the angels can see how amazing you are. So that's what you're going to want to work on. For us, feminine, what the angels of abundance want us to know over this period that we need to work on, words of abundance. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms, and that is what you will attract for yourself and for others. All right, so that's our homework. Masculine from the angels, from the angels. The therapy that they want you to receive comes from Archangel Raphael. See, there goes my emerald ray again. The healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. So this is whether you're, whether it refers to you working on yourself and what we saw, the self-care. And some of you may also have, some sort of healing business or something, or just a natural ability and affinity to help others. And Archangel Raphael will be there for you for that as well. Feminine for us from the angels. Okay, books. Your life purpose involves writing, reading, editing, or selling spiritually based books. This could be about blogging and things too, or writing a journal, a diary, keeping something like that. Even writing down your dreams over this period, because dreams should be particularly lucid, or will be for a lot of us. From the Butterfly Oracle, masculine. They just want you to be ready to welcome the new when you let go of all that old crap. I love it. Feminine for us. Volunteer. This means don't go kicking and screaming, right? Don't fight the current. I was thinking last night, as a matter of fact, about how one of the scariest things conceivable can be getting exactly what you want. Because often it seems like as soon as we get close, you know, and what we desire, the way that we've asked for it and everything is within grasp, we panic and run. Like we said, that, or we do something to self-sabotage, right? And we start some sort of ridiculous argument, or we say that we put our foot in our mouth somehow. We do something or say something. It's fear. This is saying, stop trying to protect yourself with all of that stuff. Okay? Trust the universe. Trust yourself that you have that high priestess energy that we just saw, the mystic, right? And willingly let go and walk toward your destiny. Volunteer to do it. From the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine, you got to let go of your control issues and your need to delineate every little thing to the universe, exactly how, when, why, and for what you want whatever it is you've asked for. And surrender and allow yourself to be blessed. Because what we do when we sort of try to tell the universe what to give us and how and when is block our blessings. It doesn't need our help. The universe does not need our help to bless us. You just, you know, like put it into the atmosphere and leave it there. You don't have to, you know, coddle your request after that. Release it into the atmosphere. Speak those words of abundance over yourself, right? Our thoughts become our reality. The words we speak over ourselves become our reality. So once you do that, let it go and let it come back to you as the universe would have it. Because we're not even capable of imagining the magnitude of the blessing that the universe is capable of giving us. So why limit it with our, you know, small human mind? Just put the general request out there and then sit back, right, with your faith. Feminine for us from the Universal Love Oracle. Okay. Healing sounds. So this can help us. Healing sounds. Maybe something to help us let go of the need to control situations and energy too. Maybe something to help us let go of fear. They've got binaural tones for all of these. For anything you can think of, they've got binaural tones, honestly. Music too, though. Whatever makes you feel at peace and centered, right? More whole, more yourself. That it's some sort of audio. We're moved to do that. So yes, meditation, like a maybe guided meditation, the binaural tones, any genre of music that helps you, that you're into, motivational speaking. There's all different types of healing sounds. Masculine, from the past life oracle, what do you need to know, perhaps work on over the next 2 weeks? Just have some trust and faith, which is basically what this card tells you to do too, or what I was just saying, right? Make your ask, put it out there, and let it go, and have some faith that it will be fulfilled. That's all. And feminine for us, yes, Atlantis. Spend some time, if you're able to, near the water. We have this card too that's connected to the water. So this may be when you want to listen to your healing sounds, or maybe this is the type of healing sound you want to listen to. You can listen to waves, seagulls. All of this stuff is available and can make us feel more at home. Maybe go to the aquarium or something like that. Whatever, you know, you feel in your heart, like whatever like aligns with you and is triggered when you look at this card. That's how you should do it. I hope that you guys find this reading helpful for your Taurus full moon period. I'll be back with something soon, I'm sure. Thank you guys, sponsors, subscribers, both here and on Patreon. And if you like this video, please actually like the video. Click on the like button, because YouTube, you know, they hound me about that. I think ever since they were bought by Google is where they sort of changed the dynamic and the algorithms and stuff. I don't know. But in any case, I need the likes, because I otherwise, you know, wouldn't even think about it. That's like kind of like not why I'm here. But YouTube makes me ask. So I need that. I need the likes, shares, subscriptions. So if you're not yet a subscriber, please do subscribe. And then further also click on the bell button so that you get notifications whenever I put up a new video. All right. I appreciate it. Namaste, guys.
It's so